In this lecture, we're going to talk about macroeconomic factors. Now, you need to understand the macroeconomic factors because they will have an impact on your treasury function as well and the instruments that are used in your treasury department. Now, macroeconomic, it deals with the economy as a whole. So macroeconomic focuses on the determinants of total national income. It deals with aggregates such as aggregate consumption and investment, and it looks at the total price level. There are three major concerns of your macroeconomics, which are number one, the output growth. So economic focuses to increase output growth so that the GDP is more and the standard of living of the population is more. The second is unemployment. So another objective of the government is to reduce unemployment in the economy, and the third objective is inflation and deflation. Basically, inflation is the persistent rise of prices in the economy. So you want to have a stable inflation level in the economy. You do not want hyperinflation, neither do you want deflation, which is the reduction of prices, because that happens when the economy actually goes into recession. If you have an economy that is performing well, then there will be some level of increase in the prices as well. Now, in order for the government to meet these objectives, they're going to take on different policies and tools that will help them. Now, these policies will in turn have an impact on our treasury function. Understanding how the macroeconomic works can be challenging because a great deal is going on at one time. Everything seems to be affecting the other. So to see the big picture, it is helpful that we divide the participants into these four main groups, which include households, firms, government, and the rest of the world. Now over here, if you look at this diagram, you can see that the government is at the center of everything. So households, they will need to purchase goods and services. So they will purchase goods and services from firms. And firms will provide jobs. So they will pay wages, interest, dividend, profit, rent, and investment opportunity as well. So firms will be paying income to the households, which the households will then use to make the purchases once again. Now, some of the income that the household is getting will go to the government in the form of taxes. Similarly, the income of the firms will also go to the government in the form of taxes. So there are two ways of collecting taxes for the government. And the government in turn is also responsible for purchase of goods and services, because even if they're investing in infrastructure, they will then contact an construction company. They will also make purchases. If they are going to build a new dam, that will require purchase of goods and services, and so on. So the government has a lot of purchases to do in order to make those public goods available. And plus, they also pay wages, interest, and transfer payments to households. So if you're a government worker, you will be getting government wage. And if you have bought government bonds, then you will be getting government interest. Moreover, you also have the rest of the world in the equation, because there will be exports and imports. So the households might be purchasing goods and services from abroad. In that case, they will be importing, and you might even be getting exports in the country. So the overall gist of the circular flow diagram is that actually everyone's expenditure is everyone's income. So if you're going to purchase a personal computer from Dell, you will have to make a payment to Dell, and Dell is going to receive the revenue, and then in turn they will pay the salaries to somebody else, and they will pay taxes to the government. Now, moving ahead over here, we're going to look at the different type of policies that we have. So we're just going to take an overview over here. The main objective of the government is to ensure growth, development, and prosperity. For that, they will use different economic policy, like they will have monetary policy, fiscal policy, efficiency policies, and institutional policy. Now, monetary policy is related to the interest rates and the money supply, which are used for monetary and financial stability. Your fiscal policy is related with expenditures and revenue, and it is to support stability and productivity. Then you have efficiency policies that promote efficiency, productivity, and supply. Basically, they're supply side policies, and the focus is to increase the productivity. Then you have institutional policies which improve the government, institutions, and they also affect supply. So they make growth viable and sustainable. So they will tackle corruption in the economy and make your institutions more strong with the better procedures. Now, if for the treasury function, we're just going to focus on monetary policy and fiscal policy, which is what we're going to cover in the later on units in detail.